Hello and welcome to this lesson on the conditional tense. The uses of the conditional tense is in general to express the idea of would. So I would like, I would go. The regular verbs for the conditional tense are very straightforward. And it's really good that the AR, ER and IR verbs have all the same endings. So let's have a look at a few of these. So we've got the verb escuchar, significa to listen. Now normally when we form these verbs we would take off the AR, but this time we make sure that we don't take off the AR and we just use the infinitive. Okay, so here we go, the infinitive becomes the stem. Escuchar all the way through. And now we're ready to add our set of endings. So the first one, escucharía. You've probably seen these endings before when we've looked at the imperfect tense. They're exactly the same endings as for ER and IR verbs in that tense. So escucharía, escucharías, and then escucharía. Again, remembering that 1 and 3 are exactly the same. Next one, the we form is escucharíamos, escucharíais, escucharían. Okay, so they're difficult to say, but relatively straightforward to form when writing. With an ER verb, as we said before, the endings are exactly the same and it functions in exactly the same way. So don't take the ER off, keep the infinitive, comer, and comer for the second set, and here we add our endings. Just in the same way as we did with AR verbs, so comería, same ending, comerías, comería, comeríamos, comeríais, comerían. Finally, IR verbs, exactly the same, don't take off the IR, use the infinitive, vivir, vivir, add these endings, viviría, vivirías, viviría, viviríamos, viviríais, vivirían. Okay, so very straightforward to be able to use the regular present conditional tense. With irregular verbs, they're slightly different, so let's have a look how these work. So a few verbs use an irregular stem instead of the infinitive. So instead of just leaving the infinitive, we're going to add a stem. So just have a look at a couple of these then. Okay, so we've got poner, poder, tener, salir, hacer, and haber. So poner, instead of going poner, it goes to pondr. Poder, podr. Tener, tendre, and you can see the others, saldr, ar, and abr. So have a look, exactly the same endings as we talked about before. So things like pondría, podría, tendría, saldría, haría, habría. To be able to say, I would put, I could, I would be able to, I would have, I would go out, I would do or make something, and there would be, just to finish. Okay, so the key here is the stems are different. You need to learn the stems off by heart, but the infinitive we don't use, but the endings are exactly the same. Okay, just to finish off with the conditional tense, we're going to look at some extension for the conditional. So there are 3 phrases here, and there are others that we can use to be able to say if. So si pudiera, if I could. Si tuviera, if I had. Si fuera, if I were. Okay, so si pudiera, viviría en Australia. If I could, I'd live in Australia. Si tuviera mucho dinero, compraría una casa grande. Si fuera rico, iría de vacaciones a islas exóticas. Okay, these are really high-level constructions, often done just at A-level. So it'd be really useful to try and put 1 or 2 of these into your written and oral pieces for GCSE to really show off. Okay, muchas gracias.